All right, hi guys, welcome to your e-learning assignment. All right, so this is over 9.3, which is solving quadratics using square roots. Okay, so really quickly before we jump into that, we are going to review some solving by factoring, okay? So this was just our last unit here, okay? So ignore this little negative, I don't really know where it came from, but it's not supposed to be there, okay? So notice I have a 48 on the right side of my equation. However, I know that when I'm solving, I must have things equal to 0. Okay, so the only way for me to get that 48 to the other side is to subtract it from both sides of the equation. So minus 48, so that would give me x squared plus 2x minus 48 equals 0. Okay, so after I do that, I'm good to go. So I need to find the factors of negative 48. Okay, so some factors, maybe negative 1 and 48, 1 and negative 48, 6 and 8, I'm sorry, that was negative 6 and 8, and then 6 and negative 8. Okay, you could keep going. However, I notice that if I do negative 6 plus 8, that will give me my positive 2 that I want over there. So those are going to be the 2 that I choose. Okay, so I'm going to erase up here so I have more room. Alright, so I picked negative 6 and positive 8. So I'd get x minus 6, x plus 8, and that is still set equal to my 0. Okay, so now remember this part, I'm going to identify my parts. Okay, so there is my first part. So I'm going to set x minus 6 equal to 0. Add 6 to both sides, and I get x equals 6. Okay, so remember you just have to identify your parts and then set them equal to that 0 value. Okay, my second part is going to be this x plus 8. Okay, so x plus 8 equals 0. This time I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, and I get x equals negative 8. Okay, so that is a little bit of review of solving by factoring. Okay, I also want to look at number 3. Okay, so while we're at it, let's just work on number 3. Okay, so remember once again I need everything equal to 0, so I need to move that 144 over, so I'm going to subtract 144 from both sides. The reason I'm subtracting is because right now I'm currently adding 144, and remember I need to do the reverse operation, so that would be subtracting. Okay, so I get x squared minus 144 is equal to 0. Okay, I noticed here that I have a perfect square, and a difference or a minus sign here. Okay, so I have a difference of squares. So in order to factor that, remember I just take the square root of each term, and then I make a plus version and a minus version. Okay, all right, so now notice I am in my factored form, yes. All right, and so I'm going to identify my parts and then solve for each part. Okay, so x plus 12 equals 0 is my first part. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides, and I get x equals negative 12. Okay, now for my second part, I have x minus 12 equals 0. Okay, so this time I'm going to add 12 to both sides, and I get x equals positive 12. Okay, so I have a minus 12 and a plus 12. Okay, if you are a little fuzzy on this or feel like you could do a little bit more practice, go ahead and try 2 and 4 at this time on your own. Alright, so I've included the answers for you over there on 2 and 4, so you can go ahead and check your work. Okay, alright, so moving down to some more kind of conceptual things. Okay, a square root, okay, is, remember, just this symbol, and there is an imaginary 2 in there, because remember we can take the root of more than just the number 2, okay, but most commonly you will see it drawn without that 2, and the 2 is just kind of implied there. So the square root, so like above we have the square root of 144, okay, that is just going to be equal to 12. So basically it's the two numbers, oopsie, not 22, 12. It's basically just the same two numbers multiplied together that give you an answer. Okay, so we're going to be working a lot with square roots here. Okay. All right, the zero of a function, okay, so the zero of a function is just going to be a solution, okay, and I'm going to put an S in here because sometimes there is more than one solution. Okay, so a zero of a function, basically without getting in too much detail with it, is kind of where the graph is going to, you know what, we're just not even going to go there. Basically, for this lesson, I just want you to know that the zeros of the functions are the solutions, okay? All right, so let's scroll down a little bit. So we have our solutions of x squared is equal to d. Okay, so d would just be like, remember up top we had x squared is equal to 144, okay? So, I don't know if you know this, but when you take the square root, so if I take the square root of 24, I'm actually going to get two answers. I'm going to get x equals 12, and I'm going to get x equals minus 12. Okay, so when you take the square root, you actually get two solutions. Okay, most commonly we just pick the positive one, but there actually are two solutions that come out of it. All right, so in that example we just did, d was greater than 0, yes, because d was 144. So when d is greater than 0, x squared equals d has two real solutions. Okay, two real solutions. All right, when d is equal to 0, okay, so let's throw a little example of d equal to 0. So x squared equals 0. Okay, when you take the square root of 0, you just get 0. Okay, so 0 doesn't really have a plus version and a minus version, so you end up with just one real solution. Okay, and finally, when d is less than 0, we have 0 real solutions because you cannot take the square root of a negative number and get a real solution. So we get 0 real solutions. Okay? All right, so now we are kind of in the midst of solving. Okay? So in order to solve this, okay, there is actually a way to solve by using square roots. Okay? So it should give us the same answer as if we were to factor it. Okay, but this time we are going to use a method called solving by square roots. So here I see here that this x term is being squared, and this 49 term can also be considered as being squared. Okay, so I'm going to take the square root of x squared, so I just get x, but what I do to one side of the equation I must do to the other, so I'm also going to take the square root of 49. So that means x is going to equal positive 7, and x is going to equal minus 7, right? Because we learned up above that when you take the square root, you get two real solutions, and one is the plus version and one is the minus version. Okay? So remember, we can check how many solutions we're going to get by seeing what our d value is. So remember, d in this problem is equal to 49, and we know that if d is greater than 0, we're going to get two real solutions. Okay? So we got 7 and negative 7, which are two real solutions, so we got the correct number of solutions there. Okay, let's try another one. All right, so let's move down to x squared equals 75. Okay, so once again, we can just take the square root of both sides, and we get x equals plus the square root of 75. So the appropriate way to write that would just be 75. Okay. And x equals minus the square root of 75. Okay? However, whatever way you like to do it, factor trees or whatever, we need to make sure that that radical is in simplest radical form. Okay? That's what we learned in our last section. Okay, so we really want to make sure that we are doing simplest radical form. Okay, so I know that 25 divides evenly, yes, into 75. Okay? So I know that I can simplify this right here, and I can do, alright guys, sorry about that. Alright, so I was simplifying radical 75, yes. Okay, so if I want to do that, I know that 25 is a perfect square, and it can be multiplied 3 times in order to get to 75. So radical 25 times radical 3 is equal to radical 75. Okay, so therefore I know that radical 25 is equal to 5. So I can simplify this by saying 5 radical 3, and that would make x equal to negative 5 radical 3 as well. So this can be simplified in the same way. Okay, so you really want to write your answers in simplest radical form. Okay? All right. Oopsie. All right, so we want to group some stuff together here. Sorry about that, guys. Having a little bit of technical difficulties there. All right, so I was just saying that you want to leave your answer in simplest radical form as it states up here for you. Okay, all right, so now that we've done 1 and 3 together, you can try the rest of this section on your own. Okay, so really quickly in this section, I did want to go over number 5 just because it has a bit of an extra step. Okay, so notice that my square root out, or my squared term out here is on the outside of this parentheses, which means that I am going to want to solve that first. Okay, so I am going to want to take the square root first so that I can kind of cancel this out. Okay, so taking the square root of a squared term just cancels that out. So I'm left with x plus 3 equals, and remember I have a positive 9 that comes out of this and a negative 9. So I'm just going to go ahead, so I don't forget about that, and set that x plus 3 equal to a positive 9 and x plus 3 equal to a negative 9. Now it's really important that you note that I did not change this x plus 3 term. I only have the 2 different 9s here, okay, and that is a result of this square root of 81. Okay, all right, so to solve for x by itself, I'm just going to subtract 3 from both sides, okay, and that gets me x equals 6, and if I subtract 3 from over here, that gets me a negative 12. So my answer here would be x equals 6 and x equals negative 12, okay. That's still in the same section that we did those on, okay. All right, let's go ahead and go on to page 2. All right, so for page 2 here, we just have some more problems, okay? So for number 7, something that's really important to note, remember the last time my squared term was on the whole outside of the term, but this time it's just isolated to just this x term. So I actually need to get that x term by itself in order to take the square root properly. Okay, so first I need to add 6 to both sides, okay, to get me 3x squared equals 6. Okay, the reason that I added 6 first was just because that is the order of operations kind of trick when we're solving. We need to add and subtract first. Okay, next thing we need to do is divide by 3 for similar reasoning. Okay, just how it works. All right, so x squared would equal 2. Okay, now I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and that gets me x equals radical 2 and x equals a negative radical 2. I realize that I just threw a new word at you, radical. Remember from the last section, radical and square root is interchangeable. Okay, so radical and square root are interchangeable. They're okay. Okay, I look to see if I can simplify that radical or square root of 2 anymore, and I notice that I can't because 2 is a prime number, so that would be my final answer on that one. Okay. All right, now that I've worked through that one, let's go ahead and try number 9. Okay. So now I've kind of got stuff all over the place, yes. So I see again that my x squared term is not indeed isolated, okay, so I need to kind of get that by itself first before I can take the square root, okay. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. Okay, and that's going to give me 21 on this side, and they cancel out over here. So I get 4x squared is equal to I'm not quite sure how I got 21. Sorry guys, that is not actually 21. I forgot my negative out in front of my 6. So negative 6 plus 15 actually gives you a 9. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so now we're going to divide both sides by 4. And that gives us x squared equals 9 over 4. Okay, here when I take the square root, it's kind of going to be a little tricky. Because remember that radical 9 is equal to plus or minus 3. And radical 4 is equal to plus or minus 2. Okay, so that's kind of an important note. So when I take the square root, I'm going to get x equals 3 over 2, and x equals a negative 3 over 2. Okay, so that would be the two solutions that I get. So I can kind of break up this radical and think about it as radical 9 over radical 4, since those are both perfect squares, and I can take the square root. So when I write those as a fraction, that would give me that 3/2. Okay. Alright, so go ahead and try 8 and 10 on your own for this assignment. Alright, so once again I've included the answer key over there for you. Okay, that x plus 2 and x equals negative 2 for number 8, and x equals 2 radical 5 and x equals negative 2 radical 5 there for number 10. Okay, alright, so finally the last kind of page we have. Alright, so now we have kind of some more crazy stuff going on. Really all you guys have to do is remember the order of operations and how to solve backwards. So kind of think PEMDAS, but kind of backwards when solving, right? So the first thing I'm going to think about is adding and subtracting. Okay, so I'm going to add and subtract over there. That gets me x plus 4 squared equals 25. Okay, now I'm going to want to take the square root of both sides. Okay, because that way I can cancel that out to isolate my x plus 4 term. Okay, remember x plus 4, this is going to give me a plus 5 answer and a minus 5 answer. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that equal to plus 5 and set it equal to minus 5 at the same time. Okay, that way I don't confuse myself. Alright, so when I subtract 4, I'm going to get an x equals 1 here. Okay, and when I subtract 4 on this side, I'm going to get an x equals negative 9. Okay, so hopefully you can see the importance of really paying attention, you know, when we take the square root here, how we get a positive answer and a negative answer, and how we're going to set that equal to our positive answer, and we have to set it equal to our negative answer as well. And those are going to get us our two different answers there. Okay. Alright, let's try one more together, and then you can start working on your preppity prep. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides here first, right? Because what I'm trying to do is isolate this x squared term so that I can take the square root and solve. Okay, so that's going to get me x plus 1 squared equals 1. Okay? I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So remember, when I square root a squared term, they cancel out. Okay, when I take the square root of 1, that's going to give me a positive 1 and a negative 1. Okay, so I need to set what is under this radical here equal, so I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to set it equal to both of these. Okay, so I get x plus 1 equals 1. And I get x plus 1 equals that minus 1 as well. Okay, since I'm already on the color purple, let's just solve this one first. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I get an x equals negative 2. Okay, and then up here, when I subtract 1 from both sides, I'm going to get an x equals 0. Okay, all right, well that is all I have for this lesson. If you work on your prep and you're still struggling, please feel free to come in during AL, ask me questions during class. Okay, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your e-learning day. Bye-bye.